Hi everyone! Today we are making this beautiful purse, a simple stylish project with lovely texture. The full pattern and instructions are in my online shops and links are in the description. Let's begin by preparing the pattern. It's the foundation for everything we'll be sewing today. Start by printing the pattern at actual size. That's 100%. This way, all the markings and dimensions will match exactly as intended. You will notice there are two main parts to this pattern. The draping section comes on 3 pages. All you need to do is trim the margins on one side, align the arrows, and glue the pages together. That's it. You got your full draping panel ready. The second piece is even easier. The main body of the purse fits perfectly on a single page, so no assembling required there. Once your sheets are ready, go ahead and cut out both pattern pieces neatly. Removing that extra paper around the edges makes things cleaner and much easier to handle. That's all. 2 thoughtfully designed pieces and we are ready to get started. Let's move on to the next step and start bringing this purse to life. With your pattern ready, let's bring it to life through fabric. Begin by cutting all your pieces as indicated on the pattern. For the main body, you'll be using 4 different materials and for each one you'll cut 2 mirror pieces, one for each side. To make it easier, fold your fabric with right sides together and cut both layers at once. This gives you perfect mirror shape with minimal effort. And here's something really important, the fusible fleece. This layer is more than just structure, it's your guide. When cutting your fleece, make sure to be extra precise and don't forget to mark the notches directly on it. Because we are using crepe satin for the outer body, which can be a bit slippery. The fleece will stabilize it during construction. Once fused, those clearly marked notches on the fleece will guide you perfectly for both draping and final sewing. So take your time here. Neat cuts and well-placed markings on the fleece will set you up for a much smoother process later. let's move on to the next step and start shaping the purse. Alright, now that we've cut all our pieces and transferred the notches, it's time to prep the fabrics by fusing our interlinings. This step helps give the purse its structure and makes sewing so much easier. Start with the tulle. We are not using any interfacing here, just a gentle press with low heat and no steam to smooth things out. Be careful not to melt or stretch it. Once it's flat, I like to lay it back over the paper pattern to double check the alignment before moving on. Next, we are going to fuse fusible fleece to the wrong side of our crepe satin pieces. This not only gives the purse its soft structure, but it also helps stabilize the satin, which can be a little slippery. If you are using another fabric like cotton poplin, this step still applies. But I recommend satin for that elegant glow, especially since it will show beautifully through the tulle. Now on to lining. We'll fuse lightweight interfacing to the wrong side of the taffeta. This gives your lining a crisp finish, but here's a heads up. Never use steam on taffeta. It can wrinkle permanently or even leave water stains. The same goes for satin, so always press gently with a dry iron. Take your time here. A well-prepped fabric really makes the rest of the project more enjoyable, and your final purse will thank you for it. This is the most delicate and creative part of this project, the draping. It's where your purse starts to take on that soft, airy character. In fashion, draping is usually done on a dress form, but for purse making, that's not an option, and we don't need one. Instead, we will rely on precise pattern markings and a flat surface to guide the folds. I have marked the key draping points on the pattern for you. Start by laying your tulle over the main body and match the 3 notches. The first and third notches on the tulle align with the single notch on the main fabric. The middle notch helps form the central pleat. Gently pinch and pin the tulle at each notch. Keep the layers neatly aligned as you go. Don't worry about making perfect pleats. The tulle naturally creates a soft, elegant flow with just these few folds. Next, pin the top and bottom edges of the tulle to the fabric. One side will have a little extra tulle, and that's on purpose. Leave that excess tulle untrimmed for now. Once we have sewn everything down, we'll clean up the edges neatly. Repeat the same draping process on the back panel of the purse. Once both sides are done, take a moment to check. Are the pleats symmetrical and aligned? Matching the folds ensures a clean, balanced finish. A small step that makes a big visual difference. You just added a beautifully draped layer of tulle. It's light, it's romantic, it gives the purse so much personality. Great job. Let's move on to the next step. Now that your dreamy folds are all pinned in place, it's time to lock them down and start shaping your purse. Begin by basting the tulle to the main fabric. Use the longest stitch length on your machine and sew right along the very edge. This stitch is just a temporary hold. No need to backstitch. We are simply keeping those folds steady for the real assembly. Once the basting is done, take your front and back outer body pieces and place them right sides together. Sew only from notch to notch. That's the bottom seam of the purse. Use a medium stitch length here, strong enough to hold, but flexible enough for turning and shaping later. Now, do the same for your lining pieces. Right sides together, sewing only the bottom edge from notch to notch. And just like that, you'll start to see your purse coming together, with soft folds, gentle structure, and a lot of charm. Time to bring it all together. In this step, we are joining the outer body and the lining to give your purse its full shape. Start by placing the main body and the lining right sides together. Carefully align the top edge and pin them in place. Then do the same with the bottom edge. Think of it like making the purse kiss. The openings of both layers should meet evenly. Once everything's aligned, leave a 5-6 cm opening on one of the sides. We will need that to turn the back right side out later. Now, sew all the way around the perimeter, remembering to leave that small opening. And here's a very important tip. Make sure your stitches at the top edges connect smoothly with the previous seams. That way, you won't end up with small gaps at the top. A clean join makes all the difference. After sewing, trim down the seam allowance to reduce bulk. Then, along the curved edges, carefully snip small notches to help the fabric turn smoothly. Just be careful not to cut through your stitches. Gently turn your bag right side out through the opening. Use your fingers or a turning tool to smooth out the corners and shape the curves. Once everything is in place, let's top stitch around the mouth of the bag. Use the longest stitch length and sew slowly. This step closes the turning hole and helps stabilize the fabric for easier, more accurate clasp frame assembly. This step is totally optional, but if you ask me, a few embellishments can take your purse from beautiful to breathtaking. Think of it like adding a little makeup, just enough sparkle to highlight the design without taking away from it. I added scattered pearls along the fold of the drape, letting them catch the light in the softest, most elegant way. When sewing them on, make sure your thread is secure behind each pearl. Here's a quick trick. Loop your first stitch through the knot at the end of your thread. This helps lock everything in place. I stitched each pearl 3 times, then knotted off before moving to the next. To create balance, I felt the pearl through the fabric from the back side and placed the next one in line with it. This way, both sides mirror each other beautifully. Not into pearls? Try a few lightweight rhinestones instead. Just be gentle. Tulle is delicate, so avoid anything too heavy that could pull on the fabric. Whether you go all in one sparkle or keep things minimal, this is your moment to make the purse truly yours. We have made it to the final touch. It's time to attach the clasp frame and bring your beautiful purse to life. Start by applying textile glue to one side of the purse mouth. A toothpick works great here. It helps spread the glue evenly inside the groove of the frame. Now, gently press that side of the bag into the frame. If needed, use an awl or blunt tool to tuck the fabric in neatly without damaging it. Once it's in, give it about 10 minutes to settle before moving on to the other side. Repeat the same steps for the other half. Glue, press, tuck, and rest. Now comes the hard part, waiting. Let the frame dry overnight before moving on to any stitching. This helps everything set firmly and beautifully, and it's worth the patience. It's time for the final finish. Sewing the frame in place to complete your purse. Thread a short, strong needle with 2 strands of embroidery yarn. This gives you a durable and decorative finish that complements your purse beautifully. Start at one corner on the back side, just inside the frame. Knot your thread and tuck the knot between the fabric and the frame to keep it hidden. Bring your needle up through the first hole in the frame from the inside. Then from the front, go down into the next hole. On the back side, move your needle forward just about 1 mm through the fabric. Then bring it back up through the same hole you just stitched. Your front stitches will look neat and continuous, while the back will show tidy little skip. If your needle gets stuck in dried glue, don't use your teeth. Use plier to gently pull it through. Once you reach the last hole, guide your thread into the rounded corner. Make a couple of stitches there. Then tie a firm knot to secure it. Repeat the same process for the other side, just like that. If you would like to make your own, the full pattern is available in my online shops. Links are below. You will also find other bag patterns and punch needle projects there too. Don't forget to subscribe for more sewing and punch needle tutorials. And if you enjoyed this project, give it a like and let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching and happy sewing!